In the heart of Abuja, a silent threat thrives. Illicit drugs change hands in broad daylight. From marijuana to tramadol, ice and crack cocaine. There are many harmful substances to pick from. In this documentary, Trust TV goes undercover inside some of Abuja's notorious drug dens to expose how cartels thrive and the hidden networks that sustain the illegality.
And they can keep the drugs in their cell, maybe the storekeeper, and after a long time, they can just bring it out and look for somebody and sell.
Babu wanda bai saidawa, ai duk wanda ke kamawa yana saidawa.
If I sell drugs now, I will know one of the big security operative in the country, you understand? You understand? Example now, they will go to Gwarimpa after seizing drugs. You understand? Instead of taking it to their stores to store it there or to burn it at the end of the day. At the end of the day, they still divert the drugs. From Gwarimpa now, they can move to maybe Wuse and come and sell it. Maybe they have some boys there. Maybe that do give them returns and other things.
Even with constant crackdowns by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, dealers regroup, shift bases, and carry on with the illegal trade under the shadows of authorities.
Shi mai shaye-shaye da dama an ka kama shi ya fi yadda ya sha wahala duk da zai sha da ya faɗa dilan. Gara inda za a kai shi daga baya dilan ya bi shi, amma ba za su faɗi inda dilolin suke ba.
Some of them whom from investigation we find out that they have riders delivering drugs to them in form of, they say maybe they order pizza or all that thing, but that is not what was ordered. Sometimes it's drugs.
The rapid boom of drug cartels in Abuja calls for the strongest determination to stem the thriving criminal element disrupting the peace of the nation's capital. An estimated 14.4% of Nigerians engaged in the use of illicit substances, according to a 2018 survey by the UN Office on Drug and Crime, UNODC. This figure is much higher than the global average of 5.6%. Substances like cannabis, codeine, tramadol, and cocaine are commonly abused. Home to over 4.2 million people, Abuja hosts some of Nigeria's dangerous drug syndicates, who allegedly leverage their strong ties with compromised security operatives to thrive. To understand how the drug networks operate, Trust TV went undercover and infiltrated select drug hotspots located in Area 1 and a popular hill known as Torobora, along Murtala Muhammad Expressway in Garki district. But there are other places known for these illicit businesses. Security operatives also identify Mabushi, Dede, Gwagwalada and Wusetu as drug hotspots.
If we want to talk about the hard drugs, we start maybe it's like crack, where they call maybe cocaine. You understand? Where you normally see where they buy it is in Abuja here is Area 1. You understand? So that is the place when you go, you see people there, you buy it very cheap. You understand? Those people that sell on the streets, they do go to Area 1 to buy. You understand? Because they sell it for them at the cheap rate. If you go to Area 1 now, there's different, let me just say like company. They have let me just say in Area 1 now, they have more than 10 to 20 people that sells crack there. Area 1 is a very rough area, and if you don't take drugs and you go there, even police don't go there to do anyhow. If you go to Area 1 now, you can see senior police officers. The main bunk you see where you go and see people sitting comfortably is Area 1. So if you go to places like Torobora, I know Torobora for more than 20 years. You understand? Torobora is not, they don't sell, I've never seen them selling baby crack. If somebody brings his cocaine, he can hide there and take. But because it's a jungle, you can just sit in this, nobody will disturb you. But most things they sell in Torobora, you understand, is maybe codeine, Refno, you buy Colos, which is Colorado, you buy, and even Molly, you hardly see Molly there. You understand? So it's just a different aspect of drugs.
In the last 3 years, the NDLEA, Nigeria's anti-drug agency, says it seized tons of narcotics and arrested top drug barons in Abuja. Between 2022 and February 2025, The FCT command arrested 1,819 suspects, comprising 1,738 men and 81 women. Within the same period, the agency seized 33,510.3 kilograms of illicit drugs, along with 293.1 liters of codeine syrup, and secured 529 convictions.
In the history of the NDLA, if there has been, if there has been any attempt or effort aimed at targeting the barons, the big ones, it has been in the last 4 years under the leadership of General Marwa. I can tell you that, and they know it. The people involved know it. I can tell you likely that if there are drug barons, I can tell you that in the last 4 years, thereabout under General Marwa, there has been that deliberate policy, that deliberate approach and strategy to target the drug barons, the cartels, and ensure, you can count a number of them. Without, at least as of today, I can tell you that we've had more than 65 big barons that have been taken down. Some of them are in jail as we speak.
Turobora is a drug black spot located within Abuja city center. Some of the top security surveillance institutions in the capital city are just few meters away. The office of the defunct Nigerian Police Special Anti-Robbery Squad is not more than a kilometer away. So also is the National Intelligence Agency, NIA. At the top of this hill, there is a wide open space with many uncompleted buildings, drug dens filled with teenagers, adults and even women, some smoking, others asleep. A few, too high to function, vomited in the open. Each dealer here allegedly contribute between 5,000 to 10,000 naira daily, depending on their market size. The dealers claim they use the money to pay off security operatives and avoid raids.
Nothing the dealers go to them now.
Okay.
That's just they collect their returns.
See chairman, they collect return from every plot. That one na chairman.
Jamilu ba?
Yeah, Jamilu.
Okay.
So me I know Jamilu wey be boy for Turobora.
So everybody must pay 10K like that?
So, depending on how you sell.
Okay. Depending on what and what you are selling. The kind of goods you are selling, you understand?
Okay.
No, yeah, part of it she about go 5K.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't be chicken ko ya.
Okay.
So chicken meat one.
Tune down the muke zuwa ka suke dama kamar 500 suke don da suna nan da yawa.
Eh.
Ai yanzu Turobora ya lalace.
A haka?
A haka ya lalace.
This man called Babanyaru handed me a bottle of codeine, followed by other hard drugs with street names such as Kolos, Loud and Refnol. Other opioids and cocaine were said to be available here on request, but most items were hidden away. Lungungurgua, a notorious suburb around Lagos Street, Garki, is another hotspot for illicit drug activity. Here, the influence of drugs is glaring. This young man struggles to stand. His body is overwhelmed by Kolos, one of the dangerous drugs. Many others in this area are caught in the same cycle. Cynthia once had a promising life. That life is now consumed by addiction.
I was actually introduced through a female friend, my girlfriend, when I was at my finals in the university. I was writing my project as of then in Cotonou, Benin Republic. I'm now on crack cocaine. Sometimes I will call it organism I get to get. I served in Bayelsa. Yes, I worked with the bank. After the bank, I worked with the bank for 3 years at Kano. I left to Cornerstone Insurance. I left to Dewu Engineering and Construction Firm, NNPC, Kaduna. Presently, I'm here in Abuja from Lagos, which I came in last year. So I'm on leave right now. It has not to happen. I've been doing this for 12 years. Change of environment would have helped me, which is what me and my family are working on. So inshallah. I sold my 2 cars. What do you expect? I started taking their phones, laptops and everything from the house, bags of rice and...
I'm actually a dropout from the Nigeria Defense Academy. So that was...
What make you into this?
Yes, for a while I was depressed, time has gone, and people are doing better around me, and I just lost it one way or the other. Or should I say, the thing is, sometimes drugs makes you want to always be right. So all these advices, if I had taken it then, I think I'll be doing better in my life. So they did come by trying to talk to you, and you just don't want to listen.
Ina jin ana faɗa tun lokacin da ban fara sha ba an ce abun yana da dadin sha. Tun ban fara sha ba fa haka ni ma na zo hankali ni na fara daga push ne. Ba wanda ya mun laifi haka kawai dai ni na fara sha abu na. Kuma da na shiga sha ina jin daɗi, na ji daɗin shi. Har yanzu ina kan sha abu na ba zan yi ƙarya ba. In dai gaskiya na gan wanda tana so ta sha ko yana so ya sha zan mutum kai ma fara kuma kar ta fara sha. Saboda yana da illa sosai gaskiya. Saboda yana cin jiki idan if you are a young girl zai yaye mai daga ka zama tsohuwa. Ni yanzu dan na samu kaga na koma gida har kaga na iya tun da ba wai na kai shekara ko kuma na kai irin wata 3 ko 4 haka bane. Idan na je gida ne kan zan iya bari.
By evening, the area grows busier, with more buyers and sellers arriving. One drug called CK or crack cocaine, a free-base form of cocaine, is sold and smoked here. These addicts at Lungungurgua smoked it, and seconds later, he was forced to sit down due to its effects. In many of the drug spots, marijuana, ice, kolos, loud and CK are the most common, and sometimes Refnol. To unsuspecting pedestrians, Area 1 looks ordinary, but just behind one of the car parks popularly known as Gwagwalada Park, marked by vendors frying akara, buses honking, and people going about their businesses, a hidden drug trade thrives. To gain entry into these networks, you need more than just money, you need trust.
If people that do those businesses, they don't trust. You understand? So we have to do some kind of business to an extent before at least they give you maybe 10% of their trust. You understand? They don't trust. You understand? Maybe sometimes if you want to buy from them, you understand, they can give you a location. Instead of you giving them a location, they will give you a location for you to meet them there.
With the help of this ex-dealer turned guide, we gained access and met a man called Uncle. He is said to have strong connections with almost all dealers here. I was introduced to Uncle as a potential investor seeking a sample of CK substance as a proof of authenticity. Uncle promptly instructed one of his boys to fetch a gram of CK and later walked me through how the drug is sold.
Almost 40 ba. Kana kiran mutum ya ji ba ma san ka ba
A tip-off led us to another drug hotspot in Wusetu, a district known for its nightlife and hidden dealings. Kolos, Ghana Loud, a strong variant of marijuana, and ice are the top sellers here. Some quantity was easily purchased for this investigation. Adetokunbo Ademola Crescent became busier by the time we left at 11 p.m. with the arrival of more customers. Some dealers even promise doorstep deliveries using trusted drivers. Despite tight security and laws, drug dealers claim to have strong networks and are constantly devising smart ways to transport drugs within Abuja and its environs. In the next few minutes, we'll find out how this system works. Ibrahim Yusuf Gashimbaki is the Deputy Senior Provost of the Vigilante Group of Nigeria, in charge of the FCT.
Abin da ya fi taya mana da hankali yanzu irin wani abu da ake sha ice, wanda muna ganin kaman koken sai mutum na da kuɗi da shauransu, shi kuma ice din nan ya ma fi koken din. Dan da dama mun samu mutanen da sun sha shi sun haukaci. Ka san abubuwa ne ake tafiya da su a motoci barkatai, wani a motar kaya, wani a motar fasinja. Dan mukan kama a motar fasinja, mukan kama a motar kaya, mukan kama kuma a gurin mutumin da aka raina, ana tunanin wannan mutumin ma kamar mahaukaci ne. Kuma ba na manta ko nan kwanaki ba daɗiya irin masu raida mashin ɗin nan, mun yi arrestin ɗin wani mun kama shi kamar wasa, mun same shi da miyagun ƙwayoyi da kodin da waye, wanda an gan shi na tafiya a hanya ba za ka ce na sai da su bane, ba suna yi sosai. Kuma wanda an ka gansu ba za ka ce suna yi ba. Ka san shi mai shaye-shaye wani mutum ne wanda yake da wuyar sha'ani. Da dama an ka kama shi ya fi yadda ya sha wahala duk da zai sha da ya faɗi dilan. Gara inda za a kai shi daga baya dilan ya bi shi. Dan za mu kama su mai masu barazana, mu dan tsoratar da su, amma ba za su faɗi inda dilolin suke ba. Kuma mu kama mu ba polin su ma su gama hannu over har su kai kotu yawanci, amma yaran ba za su yadda su faɗi dilolin inda suke ba. So wannan matsala ita muka fi samu. Dan da za mu rika samun dilolin da muna ganin abin zai zo ƙarshe.
While disguised as a newcomer in the business, trying to move drugs from Abuja to other states, a dealer at Toro border called Iro explained that one of the easiest methods is to rely on intercity taxi drivers. He specifically mentioned the Abuja, Kaduna, Zaria to Kano route. He said the drivers are often not the target of the NDLEA and the likelihood of interception is minimal.
Baya saidawa ne a can kaci
yana saidawa, wannan bai taba sai daga Abuja zuwa can ba, ka gani wannan ne
zai tafi da ita ne? Zai tafi da ita yake magana.
Yanzu in
ba yana so inda zai tafi da ita bane.
Yawa, and still
Ai ba kai ka rubuta maka
ranan kofar ma na baka.
Ai
kuma da kullaba da ban kullban ba yake.
Ko ga shi karke kudi ga gangaro to ina nan. Ko mu je mana kaza direba za ka ba mu kai. Amma fa dole sai ya buƙaci ƙarin.
While leaving Toro border, one of the drug users made an interesting remark.
Where?
Down
here.
Okay, that place.
After moving closer, a container allegedly belonging to the NDLEA came into view, while another further down the hill was said to belong to the police. They were reportedly set up for surveillance, yet there was no sign of officials around. To verify Iro's claims on drug waybills, I visited the Area 1 Motor Park, a key location he said is used for drug movement out of the city. I wrapped a nylon package of ground cassava, locally known as gari, to mimic an illicit substance and approach drivers headed towards Kaduna, Zaria and Kano. But contrary to their claims, none of the drivers at Area 1 agreed to transport the package, expressing growing fear over NDLEA's surveillance on highways recently.
amma aka tambaye ka zaka ce abu kaza ne a ciki in ya bude ya gani ya ga shi ne ina zaune lafiya abinda za a baka bai taka karya maka zo ka ga masifar da kafin ka fita sai ka sha wahala ka gara ka hakura da karfarsa saboda suna takura mana wallahi sai an ma tambaya me a ciki ko kuma ka kai in ka ce bincika direba wani a'a ai gaya ma ne malam ko gaskiya bane shi duk abin da yake wata ɗaya ba mai wani ya karɓi sakon dabbobi ana nan har yanzu ba ma yake za ka kiyaye mutuncinka ko ba haka bane.
When contacted again, Iro, a dealer at Torobora, explained that the system works through a chain of trusted dealers and drivers. A former drug dealer, who for the sake of anonymity will be referred to as Baba, made allegations about the inner workings of Abuja's drug trade. Diversion of seized narcotics.
Samun wannan magunguna abu ne mai sauki. Yawa me yasa nace abu ne mai sauki shine wani lokacin mafi yawan mu da muke ƙananan 'yan kasuwa da muke zuwa mu siyo daga manya. Su manyan mafi yawanci wani lokacin ma ma'aikata za su da musu. In suka tara suka karba daga hannun waɗanda suka siyo daga wani guri, su kuma za su zo su kawo musu zo su saya. Idan sun saya mu kuma daga hannunsu za mu saya. Tsakanin jami'ai da masu dalincin wannan magunguna akwai alaka, sannan akwai sanayya, sannan kowa san kowa. In ka ga jami'in tsaro ya zo ya maka wani mazurai kai a matsayinka na dila kana sai da wani abu, to kawai baka bashi. Babu wanda bai saidawa, ai duk wanda ke kamawa yana saidawa. Yanzu za a iya zuwa nan gurinka, yanzu misali a ɗauka cewa nan kasuwa ce muke, za a iya zuwa nan gurinka a zo a karɓi naka, a zo a kwace an kama ka da shi, an kama ka da shi tabbas, a karɓe a tafi da shi, a tafi da kai a tafi da shi. In an je ka ayo belinka, in an yi belinka amma ba za a yi belin maganinka ba, to ƙarshe in sun tafi da shi wannan maganin ba za su kai shi ofis ɗinsu ba, za su tafi da shi kuma za kuma je sai da ma da wani a hakan kuma.
While Baba said he left the trade around 2018, his claim could not be independently verified.
And they can keep the drugs in their cell, maybe the storekeeper now after a long time. They can just still bring it out and look for somebody and sell it. They buy them cheap from them, then they will sell it high.
We presented these findings to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA), and Femi Babafemi, the agency's Director of Media and Advocacy, said the agency's protocols cannot be manipulated.
The mechanisms put in place to ensure discipline and ensure the integrity of the operations of the agency are strict and stringent, making it practically impossible for the kind of thing you are suggesting. Practically impossible, because in any operation there are guidelines, there are standard operating procedures that have to be followed. And for each operation, don't forget again that now the agency has stepped up its standard, his SOP, by going into operations with body cameras. So there is no way anybody can do anything that undermines the integrity of the operation. And again, I'll tell you that again, for all SCBs recovered, they are kept under very, very stringent and well secured systems. That is within the SCB rooms that are well secured, locked, and not a single individual can access the place without the approval or the presence of at least 2 other persons. So meaning that at least 3 persons must be present, including the commanding officer of that command, before you can access the SCB room. So it's not possible for, all 3, because they know the consequences of anything. We've been able to identify some of these hotspots, and one of the things we do is periodic and regular raids, like Area 1, Gwagwalada, Gwarimpa, Karu, Abato, Zone 4, and their environment. So all of these places, they have consistently, and even where we call Tora Bora. I'm sure you know the area where they call, yeah. So these are places that the agency raids virtually every other day. Do you understand? You know, for instance, if you look at Tora Bora, that's a hill. So more often than not, that's why we conduct these raids. Just recently, we had a raid just about some 3 weeks ago. We had a raid where we took some media. We went with some to cover it. I mean, it was 2 raids, spectacular raids carried out in one day. One early in the morning, like 6-7 a.m., and the other 7 p.m. in the night.
Responding to concerns about the proximity of police stations to areas where drug dealings openly occur, the Public Relations Officer of the FCT Police Command, SP Josephine Ade, said the command has already identified several hotspots and is working to dismantle the drug cartels operating within them.
We usually identify hotspots where drug activities are being carried out, and abuse of drugs and all that, and we raid alongside with NDLEA. We don't just operate like that, we raid alongside, and we've been doing that, and that's area, I think for now, everybody has been enjoying relatively peace. One thing about these drug peddlers is once you raid that particular area and they are aware that the law enforcement agencies have identified that place as their place of running their activities, you see them moving to another place. And not all of them that are on the streets are doing drugs. There are some of them whom from investigation we find out that they have riders delivering drugs to them in form of, they say maybe they order pizza or all that thing, but that is not what was ordered. Sometimes it's drugs.
Beyond enforcement, Babafemi highlighted the NDLEA's War Against Drug Abuse WADA initiative, which focuses on preventive measures such as public sensitization, school campaigns, and collaboration with religious and community leaders. Section 11D of the NDLEA Act bans public consumptions of narcotics, with violators facing heavy fines and imprisonment. The 1989 NDLEA Act also mandates strict penalties for the possession, trafficking, and abuse of illicit drugs.